Сегодня я прочитаю книгу Александра Высоцкого «The Business Owner Defined». Буду читать с первого предложения, то есть ранее данный текст я не видел. Читаю со второй главы. Поехали. Chapter 2. The first step to competency. There is a God. Am I ready to pray to the God of competency? Competence is a mixture of knowledge, practical abilities, and creative goals. If one of these elements is lacking, competence doesn't exist. One can tell whether a person is competent simply by looking at the results of what he has undertaken. If a man is a competent husband and father, his family thrives, his wife is happy, and he is proud of his kids' achievements. If a business owner is competent, his company prospers and grows larger without any headaches. If you are interested in knowing just how competent you are as a business owner, look at your results in this area. If you are always busy with urgent problems, if the company drains your energy and time, then you will never have humorous operations and growth. Therefore, you are currently not competent as a business owner. You could argue that your company works just fine, better than many others do, and that people even have good reason to be jealous of your achievements. But don't fool yourself. Quite simply, we all have different standards. It doesn't matter what others dream out about or what their level of competency is. If instead of working on strategic planning, you work on day-to-day problems, and the company's expansion only creates an extra workload for you, then you are not a competent business owner. You may be very good and day-to-day things, but you are not a competent business owner. If you are starting to realize that this is now things are for you, congratulations. You have taken the first step on the path to competence. The first step to competence, although not the easiest, is to admit that there are things you do not understand and that you lack the needed skills and experience. You have taken the first step on the path to competence. One must admit to a problem before it can be fixed. If a person doesn't take this step, they will forever be stuck in the mindset of knowing it all. As a result of a merger between two manufacturing companies in 2000, I became a owner and CEO of the Gero Master manufacturing company. Although at first the company was not the most experienced and well-equipped, by 24 it had left all of its competitors behind. Thanks to the implementation of the management tool discussed in this book, I had no chance but to start his implementation. As the company's production volume had grown larger, the organization chaos had torn my company apart. Interestingly, enough. In spite of all of problems, we were manufacturing best products. This saved us from aligning and losing customers, even though we were consistently behind schedule. Once the company was functioning smoothly, I left the CEO position to focus on the owner's role. I started conducting outside seminars on management, during which I explained in detail the organization known how to allow us to become industry leaders. To my surprise, I found that none of the owners and Giro masters competitors attended my seminars, even though I consistently invited them. It was just unbelievable. Within a few years, Gerald Master had became the established leader in its field. It was the youngest, most audacity company on the market with the highest priced products, which, like a tank, had rolled over the metal design and manufacturing industry, making products for government ministers and agencies, the military and major corporations, as well as for a variety of social and regulations organizations. Even though the owner of the competing companies knew that I was providing the answer to the question, how did Gerald Master do it? They still didn't attend my seminars. They were stuck in an I know it all attitude. When a person is stuck in such a mindset, they have tons of excuses as to why the situation should be exactly as loosely as it is. If you talk with them and ask what the problem is, why things are the way they are, the excuse is the market conditions, or we don't have any experts, or some other made up nonsense. But the truth is that business owner is simply afraid to face the real situation, because upon facing it, they will have to do something that they have probably never done before. They are like a bad driver who blames other drivers, bad road conditions, and the weather. Immense problems in the personal life will tell you what is wrong with modern women and society in general. They simply do not have enough courage to look and see things as they really are. In order to get rid of this know-it-all attitude, either you need to establish very important goals for yourself, or receive a good kick in the butt. An owner may realize that the results in their hard work are just a weak shadow of the result they desire, or they may find that day-to-day problems become too overwhelming. It is those in the latter group who want to resolve day-to-day issues, not just cope with them, who most often seek our consulting help. I wish I could brag that I got out of the "I know it all" attitude thanks to having important goals, but the truth it has made clients who helped me with this. In 22, the business was expanding, and as a result, we had an almost competently uncontrollable company. Nearly 80% of our metal manufacturing orders were overdue. Since most of our customers were military of government entities, my tenure as CEO was plagued by unpleasant adventures. My workday started and ended with dealing with unhappy customers. There was no way we could even think about strategic planning. I felt as if bills were whizzing over my head. These unhappy customers were my miraculous kick in the butt. With my feeble attempts to fix things, it took a few months before I realized I had no idea how to run a growing company. That period has a turning point for me. I started looking for answers as to what I should do to make the company more manageable, so that I, as the owner, could focus on strategic planning rather than on fixed small issues. Unfortunately, not enough literature is available on how well-known companies have handled times like this. The subject of management tools is considered too boring and often too difficult for most people to comprehend. You can, however, find information on how a practical product was created or how successful manufacturing and retailing companies were started. Interestingly, every prosperous company has practical management tools, but the general public doesn't know how they were implemented. The reason for this is simple. Only people at the very top of companies are interested in this topic, and their number is limited. Since you are reading this book, either your goals or your problems have already given you a push, and you are looking for answer to questions related to a business owner's role as well as to the management of a company. In the following chapters, I will discuss the functions of a cafeteria in business as well as how to business owner role differs from that of a manager. The end chapter 2.